All right, let's talk about Tiny Toons Adventures Buster Bust Loose. I don't know why I said it like that. That was dumb. Anyway, yeah, Tiny Toons Adventures Busters Bust Loose is a dumb name for a game actually, but whatever. No, this game has a great soundtrack. Like it sounds great. I think one of the songs goes da na 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 da na na na. One of them goes like that, or the main theme. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because the song you want to hear in this game is the track for the Haunted Mansion. They get some sounds. Konami got some sounds here out of the Super Nintendo that are just absolutely amazing. I remember first hearing this when I played it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me with this music?" It really comes out of nowhere, but you wouldn't think this game would have this track in it, but it's just incredible. Anyway, let's hear that track now from the Haunted Mansion level, the music, because you got to hear this. Damn, that still sounds awesome. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about Equinox. A lot of people might not know this, but it's a sequel to Solstice. And yes, Tim Follin returns to do the music, and it is awesome, the music. Although not as, it's not as splashy or out there as the Solstice music. It's more somber, more ambiance in the background, but it is moody. It really sets the tone for this game, and this game has like a particular feeling when you play it. It's very it leaves an impression on you, the feeling of the world. It's a very cool game. It's like not a lot of people talk about Equinox, but and I think in overseas it's even called Solstice 2. I think only in America it was called Equinox. So yeah, let's hear some music from Equinox. Love this game. Equinox reminds me of why I love video games so much. I love going on an adventure and different worlds, and I just love it. It's very nostalgic, that game to me, Equinox. So Gradius 3, another early Super Nintendo game that has great music. In particular, the desert. I believe it's the desert stage. I love the change up on that music. Just classic. We're gonna hear that particular track right now because it is just awesome. Let's check it out. certain consoles, the music or the composer seem more ambitious to really show you what they can do with it. Not that music of the games later on aren't good, but there's just something about the first party games and the first games, the launch games or the early games, that just really want to show you, like, watch what we can do. It's just awesome. Now we got to talk about Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Haven't played it? Missed it? Never seen it? Yeah, not the greatest game. Very hard, difficult, annoying game. You'll be frustrated playing this game. I guarantee it. It is not fair in a lot of parts. But gameplay aside and all that, the music is absolutely stellar in this game. Again, it was done by Tim Follin, who did Solstice and Equinox. He's a great composer. What he did was he gave every character their own soundtrack. So Gambit has a soundtrack, Storm has her own soundtrack, Wolverine has his own soundtrack, each character. But what's interesting is they're very long tracks. So what'll happen is you might finish a level and you'll never even hear the entire track. So maybe you might beat a level in 3 minutes, but the track is like 7 minutes long. So and ever changing, because each track has so many different layers. Like one track might start somewhere and then go totally somewhere else, and then go somewhere else again, and you'll hear all different kinds of melodies and sounds. Really, like, multi-layered soundtrack in this game. Insane. I can play you a little bit of it now. I'm not going to be able to play you because it's something you have to experience. Look it up if you want to hear all the soundtrack. Fun soundtrack that's just all over the place. Let's sample right now Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge. Wow, that's just still an amazing soundtrack. What's interesting is how he didn't even care if you didn't hear the entire track. He took his time. He was like, I know a lot of people won't hear the entire music, but I'm still going to create an incredible score. I love that he just didn't even care, like, if you heard it or not. It's just awesome. I'm going to talk about, I got to talk about Super Adventure Island, because that's another early title with another incredible soundtrack. Great sounds here. He even uses samples from James Brown and other tracks like Eric, I can't remember their name now, but they sang "It Takes Two to Make a Thing Go Right." Yeah, it takes two to make it out of sight. Yeah. This game sampled the yeah. They sampled that and some other stuff. They sampled good stuff in this soundtrack. Great melodies, great sound coming out of the Super Nintendo in this game. Let's sample a little bit of Super Adventure Island. Love the saxophone too. Sounds in this game, very awesome. I just realized how creepy this cover is for Super Adventure Island. It's like a half fat naked guy, or I don't know, he's wearing like a hula dress. Anyway, one last thing I want to talk about, if I don't get sidetracked, is it's not a very like good game. Here it is, Super Off-Road. This game, another one, another early launch title for the Super Nintendo. The title screen, well, a lot of the music actually, but the title screen in particular, they get like this guitar sound, really in your face, loud, like damn, like playing NES and going to this was like pretty mind blowing. I'll show you what I mean. Listen to this, the title screen music. I could talk about other music. Super Ghouls and Ghosts has amazing music. Of course, the Street Fighter games. But, you know, I'm going to move on to now the Sega Genesis, because that system has some great games with some great music. Blaster Master 2, unfortunately, wasn't as good as... I like it, but it wasn't as good. Let's talk about Burning Force. Somebody mentioned this in the comments in the last video. Yeah, Burning Force 2 has amazing music. I believe it's the same music from the arcade, except the Genesis steps it up a notch. I think they actually improved it. They get some really great sounds in this game, like keyboard sounds, just like these I don't know if I would call it synthesizer sounds, but they get some really great, like, unique sounds that just come out of left field. Just really cool. I remember this game is similar to a Space Harrier, where everything's coming at you, and I believe there's checkered board floor. I don't remember. I think so. But yeah, let's hear some music of Burning Force and why it's so awesome. That was hella impressive at the time, you gotta admit. That is just awesome. Let's talk about Castlevania Bloodlines, because this game had amazing music. I believe this is the only Castlevania game on Sega Genesis. This is a great game. But the particular track I want to talk about in the game, I think, is called Call to Heaven. It comes late in the game, like when you're about to finish the game, and oh man, really, what an epic track! It really like culminates in like this amazing moment where this is it, like this is the end, like come on, like Castlevania at its peak. Like I can't explain it, but the Call to Heaven is just a great track in this game. I think that's what it's called, Call to Heaven. I don't remember. I just love this soundtrack, but I particularly love that track, and we're gonna hear that right now and hear why I think it's so awesome. It's interesting that game is rated GA, general audiences, when it has blood and violence, but maybe it would have been rated T for teen. I don't know. I think it's during. Well, I was trying to remember if it was before or after the rating. No, it's after the well, whatever. Anyway, that's a great game, Castlevania Bloodlines, and let's talk about, this is interesting. Championship Pro-Am doesn't have any particular good music when you're actually playing the game, anything special. Although the motor and the sounds in the game sound cool, but when what's interesting is the title screen music in this game is just very cool sounding. It sounds like a guitar, not a guitar, but it sounds like just like I can't even explain what it sounds like. Just listen for yourself. Let's talk about Devilish. I talked about this game in the last video, and it really has some amazing music. Probably some of the best music ever heard on the Sega Genesis, in my opinion. They got some amazing music in this game. That's the melody, the sound of it. There's one particular track that sounds like the music from Tron, from the original 1982 Tron. They have like these keyboard synthesizer sounds, these melodic melodies, just these, you could tell like maybe they didn't think this game was that appealing, paddles hitting a ball, and so the composer was like, well, I gotta really like step it up here or something and make this music amazing. And whoever did an amazing job doing the music in this game. You have to hear some samples of the music in this game because it is amazing. Here we go. still sounds awesome. Okay, let's talk about Forgotten Worlds. This is another one of those games where you have the two burly, muscular guys. They used to pair them up all the time, like in the original Contra, and I believe in Bad Dudes. Did they do that in Bad Dudes? I don't remember. Usually it was a blonde guy and a brunette guy, and they were like, muscular, beefy guys, like Rambo types. And Forgotten World's one of those games. But this game has amazing soundtrack, good music, good melodies. Each level is unique. Each music track and for each level is unique and interesting and fits like the level. You can tell whoever composed the music for this game really cared. Like, it wasn't just some throwaway music. They really composed nice music for this. There's also the Turbo Duo version, which has better music. Probably the best version of the soundtrack of any platform, either arcade, anything. You can hear that actually on my channel. If you search Forgotten Worlds in my channel, you can hear that soundtrack. But I'm just used to the Genesis version, the way they did it and the sounds they got out of the Genesis. So let's hear some samples from Forgotten Worlds. That still sounds awesome. We got to talk about Midnight Resistance because I got a story to tell about that. How does this story go again? Oh, yeah. I was sick with a fever, and I had money because I had saved money to buy Streets of Rage, and my brother and sister were going to the mall, and so I entrusted them with my money and told them to go buy me Streets of Rage, and they said okay. So they went to the mall, and as the story goes, that they tell me that they went to KB toy stores, an old toy store that's not around anymore, I believe. And when they got there and they asked for Streets of Rage, the damn cashier, I hate him now, he told them, no, you don't want Streets of Rage. You should get Midnight Resistance because this game is awesome. You're going to love it. And somehow he convinced my brother and sister to get Midnight Resistance instead of Streets of Rage. So they come home, and I'm excited, and I'm like, oh, I'm in bed, and I'm like, oh, they're here, and I hear them come inside my room. I'm waiting for them to hand me Streets of Rage, and my brother goes to me, don't get mad, but we got you a different game instead. We got you Midnight Resistance. It's supposed to be awesome. And I was like, what? I wanted Streets of Rage. I got all emotional. I got really pissed, and I said, bring it back. And he said, no, we can't go back now. And he said, at least try it. So reluctantly, I tried it, and when I put it on, the soundtrack just blew my mind right away when you put on this game. The soundtrack is just mind-blowing in this game. I played it for like a few days. I was enjoying it, but then I got upset again, and I started thinking about it again. Why didn't they get me Streets of Rage? I told them to get me Streets of Rage. And I kept bothering about it. But anyway, I ended up beating Midnight Resistance, and wow, what a soundtrack. Just amazing soundtrack. Once in a while, I'll just hear this soundtrack again. I'll just be in the mood to hear it again because it's that good. Definitely improves over the arcade soundtrack. It's also the best soundtrack of any Midnight Resistance ported to any system. Anyway, let's hear the music for Midnight Resistance. soundtracks. I mean, I could talk about these and how amazing they are, but you know, you guys have all heard it before. I'm going to talk about Thunder Force 3. The soundtrack for this game is amazing. I love it. Let's sample some of the soundtrack from Thunder Force 3.